Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Wednesday, January 5th, at 3:25 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 612 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Trump cancels press conference that he had scheduled for the one-year anniversary of the Capitol insurrection. Kim Jong-il, inventor of the burrito, North Korean state media makes strange claim. Trump cancels Florida press conference scheduled for January 6. U.S. military coalition in Syria takes out rocket launch sites. The Buccaneers still have not released Antonio Brown, and his ability to play the rest of the year is on the line. Dad faces assault charge in fight with ref at son's basketball game, Washington cops say. Tech founder out after anti-Semitic, anti-vaccine email. Riverdale arrested after returning to live at cabin site. Sister Wives star Cody Brown said he thought wife Christine hates him months before she announced she was leaving their polygamous marriage. Amtrak passengers have been stuck on a train for nearly 2 full days in Virginia because of the winter storm. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. North Korea fires unidentified projectile into waters off Korean peninsula, South Korea says, CNN. Chicago public schools and the teachers union clash, The New York Times. Scoop, January 6 committee requests Sean Hannity's cooperation, Axios. Facing criticism, CDC updates COVID-19 isolation recommendations with guidance on testing, CNN. I-95 partially reopens in Virginia after winter storm forced closure that stranded motorists, The Washington Post. Golden Globes 2022 won't have audience, celebrities or press, New York Post. Canada pledges $31.5 billion in Indigenous child welfare battle, The New York Times. Toyota overtakes GM as best-selling automaker in U.S., The Wall Street Journal. One MVP voter says he won't vote for Aaron Rodgers, calling him the biggest jerk in the league, NBC Sports. Trump cancels January 6 event amid GOP complaints, Politico. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. 25 painfully accurate tweets that sum up foreplay when you're married. Mary Trump guesses why Donald Trump ignored Ivanka's pleas to stop Capitol riot. Trump cancels January 6 press conference. NPR star Audie Cornish says she's joining the Great Resignation. House committee requests cooperation from Sean Hannity in inquiry on Capitol riot. Jonathan Van Ness seeks answers to life's mysteries in trailer for solo Netflix series. McConnell dismisses notion that idiots would try to overturn election results. COVID case counts may be losing importance amid Omicron. Biden calls COVID testing situation frustrating, vows improvements. This climate change allegory is the top movie on Netflix right now. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Man arrested for savage beating of guard years ago. Dog leads police to scene of crash involving owner. Man accused of killing, dismembering parents. 7-year-old searching for stuffed animal last seen at hotel. Yuko analyzing purse possibly belonging to outlaws. Mysterious creature found on roof of retirement community. Restaurant to close after 45 years. Many cross state lines to purchase Powerball tickets. PD, Lyft driver shot 2 suspects during carjacking. 17 gang members charged in series of shootings. The next headlines are from the 5th most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. COVID updates. Despite criticism, the CDC won't require a negative test to leave isolation. Stranded drivers are freed after 24-hour snowy ordeal on I-95 in Virginia. Jobs, Omicron, Andrew Cuomo, your Tuesday evening briefing. Donald Trump cancels January 6th event, after allies consider it a distraction. Kazakhstan declares state of emergency as protests over fuel prices spread. In Omicron hotspots, hospitals fill up, but ICUs may not. Sean Hannity is asked to cooperate in January 6th inquiry as panel details texts. Chicago Public Schools and the Teachers Union clash. 17 charged as Brooklyn gang alliance is linked to 4 deadly shootings. Biden administration doubles order of Pfizer's COVID pill. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Betty White was in great spirits while filming tribute to fans just 10 days before her death, very sweet. Jeopardy! Champion Amy Schneider reveals she was robbed in Oakland. Djokovic given medical exemption to play at Australian Open. Titans Bud Dupree cited for misdemeanor assault against Walgreens employee, police say. Bengals Hendrickson, 3 other starters placed on COVID list. Arizona offering families up to $7K for issues stemming from school closures. Kim Cattrall seen in rare outing as SATC fans hold out hope for her character to return. New York Magazine writes to combat inflation, the U.S. should impose price controls. White House refuses to say whether Biden is engaging with Manchin on $1.75 trillion spending package. MSNBC anchor says his family was denied entry into NYC restaurant because 4-year-old daughter was unvaccinated. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Wednesday, January 5th. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Sir Smartpants packs the flavor of old cup of soup. Christian Eriksen reveals he wants to play for Denmark at Qatar World Cup this year. Boris Johnson pours cold water over Tory calls to cut VAT on fuel bills. The online schools for scammers, how you can avoid becoming victims. Relationship expert reveals red flag phrases that could indicate your other half is cheating. Man breaks into Alton police station and attacks an officer. Sir Patrick Vallance reveals COVID vaccine drive will eventually settle into a routine program. Health, cheap blood test is first to both identify if a patient has cancer and if it has spread. The British high street foods that are going vegan for January. Risk of diabetes could be hardwired into our DNA as 2 sets of genes increase chance of illness. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Canada reaches $31.5 billion deal over Indigenous children put in foster care unnecessarily. Britain to wipe from records past convictions for consensual same-sex activity. There was an epidemic of coups in 2021. The new year hasn't cured the political turmoil. The world has avoided a twindemic, but as flu cases rise alongside COVID, experts fear that could change. Israeli study reports 5-fold jump in antibodies with 4th Pfizer vaccine shot. Canadian court orders Iran to pay millions to families of victims from plane shot down in 2020. U.S. charges Colombian national in plot to kill Haitian president. Albania, Brazil, Gabon, Ghana, UAE join Security Council. Sheep, goats join Germany's coronavirus vaccine drive, forming the shape of a 330-foot syringe. 2 Americans missing after plane splashes down off Panama. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. COVID News Live. Rio de Janeiro cancels carnival parade for second year. Delhi imposes weekend curfew. Appalling message. Outrage over Novak Djokovic's medical exemption to play Australian Open. The 5G fight. Why AT&T and Verizon are at loggerheads with the FAA. North Korea has launched possible ballistic missile, say Japan and South Korea. All motorists stuck on Virginia highway rescued, say transportation authorities. Californians could face $500 fines for wasting water under new rules. Nearly 100 Nigerian hostages rescued after 2 months of captivity. Capitol attack panel seeks cooperation from Fox News host Sean Hannity. Tuchel finds Lukaku over Chelsea mess despite striker's apology for interview. Coronavirus, no excuse for being unvaccinated, Biden says, video. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. California adopts water restrictions as drought drags on. North Korea fires suspected ballistic missile into sea. Mass protests break out in Kazakhstan over fuel price hike. Senator Kaine had one orange and a Dr. Pepper while stuck on highway for 27 hours. CDC clarifies isolation guidance after criticism but still no call for testing. Watch, aerial footage captures snow in North Carolina landscape. Watch, Northern Lights ring in 2022 in North Dakota. Watch, sailboat lashed by waves amid winter storm in Virginia. Watch, these pandas playing in the snow are a mood. Thousands of Alaskans without power in below freezing temperatures. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. North Korea launches unidentified projectile into sea. Snowbound in Virginia traffic for over 10 hours. Omicron, curfew in Delhi as India COVID cases surge. COVID, President Macron warns he will hassle France's unvaccinated. Gandikota, the stunning Indian gorge that resembles the Grand Canyon. Iconic Bangkok station Hulampong reaches the end of the line. U.S. reports 1M daily COVID cases with peak to come. Kazakhstan unrest, state of emergency declared after fuel protests. Jovenel Mo's murder, U.S. charges Colombian man over assassination. Paraguayan soldier killed by deer at presidential palace. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Company show off smart home tech in Las Vegas. Today in history for January 5th. Groping charge against former NY Governor Cuomo dropped. Police boot protesters from Governor DeSantis briefing. Biden to mark historical significance of January 6. 27-hour commute, Virginia officials pelted with questions after hundreds of drivers were stuck on I-95 overnight. Las Vegas hosts big gadget show amid COVID surge. Biden to the vaccinated, you are highly protected. Biden to the unvaccinated, be alarmed. Live COVID updates. Colorado wildfire victims return to burned homes. AP top stories January 4th p. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. LA County suspends criminal trials for 2 weeks amid Omicron surge. As coronavirus cases explode in California, next few weeks are absolutely critical. Omicron wave is inundating California, how to protect yourself and others. California lawmakers unveil plan to hold gunmakers liable for shootings. Larry Elder won't seek rematch against Governor Gavin Newsom in 2022 race. Congressional Black Caucus taps Senior Harris Aide as executive director. California adopts drought rules outlawing water wasting, with fines of up to $500. 4 deaths possibly tied to fentanyl reported in Anaheim in 3 separate overdose cases. Federal jury trial suspended in LA amid rapid COVID spread. A frustrating hunt for coronavirus tests, long lines, a lot of driving and anxious waiting. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Wednesday, January 5th, 2022. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. French President Emmanuel Macron said he really wants to piss off the unvaccinated. Sweden launches psychological defense agency to counter propaganda from Russia, China and Iran. And Greenland, the ice sheet hides a huge impact crater. This asteroid likely vaporized billions of tons of ice within an instant with tremendous climate consequences in the northern hemisphere. Nearly a week after his arrest, Kakwenza Ruthirabashaja, a prominent Ugandan satirical novelist and critic of President Yoweri Museveni, made a surprise visit home under guard. Security forces wanted to search the dissident writer's house. His wife saw visible signs of torture of her husband. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan delivered a stern warning for any Turkish citizens preparing to protest against his government, as anger rises over soaring inflation and opposition parties step up their criticism of economic policy. Protests erupt in Kazakhstan after fuel price rise. Demonstrators take to the streets for a third day amid widespread anger about lifting of price caps on liquefied petroleum gas. Car ads get cigarette-like disclaimer in France suggesting walking or biking instead. Canada agrees to $31.5 billion settlement over treatment of Indigenous children. U.S. arrests suspect in Haiti presidential assassination, source says. Right to disconnect, boss may no longer call employees after hours. Sadiq Khan plans pilot to decriminalize minor cannabis offenses in London. Israel on Tuesday lifted restrictions barring same-sex couples and single men from becoming parents through surrogacy. Haiti's PM survives weekend assassination attempt, his office says. James Webb Space Telescope, Sun Shield is fully deployed. Lithuanian president rebukes government over Taiwan controversy. The next headlines are from Forbes. Panasonic to make Tesla battery cells with recycled material from J.B. Straubel's redwood. Enhypen, 17, twice, Addis and Ispa. 2021 was K-pop's biggest year ever on the Billboard 200. Djokovic didn't get special treatment for COVID vaccine exemption, Australian Open director says. A virtual presentation lesson from the Dallas Cowboys. BTS's Jin joins Ispa, Dimash Kudaibergen, NCT 127 and Blackpink's Lisa with his latest top 10 hit. After 2+ years of testing, KFC's Beyond Fried Chicken is now available nationwide. Twice joins Blackpink and Luna with their first radio chart hit in America. Ty Sheridan on the Tender Bar and how he bonded with Ben Affleck and George Clooney. Golden Globes set to go on without celebrity attendance or red carpet. Flu-Rona cases raise concerns of severe double infections. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Terra takes the pain out of omics computing in the cloud. Is precision public health the future, or a contradiction? Elizabeth Holmes verdict, researchers share lessons learned for science. Engaging with the science of fetal origins. Push for ethical practices in geoscience fieldwork. Rivers buffer a vast sea against climate change impacts. A cloud named Maggie, space streamer could birth new stars. Birth equity, U.S. Supreme Court must support Black people. COVID-19, boost mental health resilience. Close up with a parasite that can blind. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,755,672,792 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Cher and Saweetie make a glamorous duo in the Max Challenge Accepted campaign. Paramount Plus Indivisible, Healing Hate, from XG Prods, to examine roots of the January 6th U.S. Capitol attacks. Kevin Mayer and Tom Stagg's media venture will be named Candle, company confirms Westbrook deal. Jon Stewart calls out J.K. Rowling for anti-Semitic goblins in Harry Potter franchise. Joan Copeland, Broadway star and soap opera actress, dies at 99. Miley Cyrus tops Twitter on New Year's Eve as Boba Fett comes in like a wrecking ball. Michael Keaton says clashes over Batman tone made him exit the role, I just cannot do it. Aaron Sorkin, Marjorie Taylor Greene can go to hell after quoting A Few Good Men's speech. Golden Globes reveals 2022 event plans, focus on philanthropy as no audience or media are invited. Netflix Top 10, Cobra Kai Season 4 takes lead after just 3 days of viewing. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. The CDC resists pushback and says a test to get out of COVID isolation is not needed. House January 6th committee seeks to question Fox News' Sean Hannity about the Capitol riot. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope finishes deploying its Sunshield image ears. Late-night hosts Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers test positive for COVID-19. The U.S. charges a former Colombian soldier in Haitian president's assassination. The American Kennel Club adds 2 dog breeds, the Hungarian Mutie and the Russian Toy. A lawsuit over Nirvana's Nevermind Baby album cover has been dismissed. Car ads in France will soon have to encourage more environmentally friendly travel. Preet Chandy is the first woman of color to complete a solo expedition in Antarctica. Longtime Chicago Congressman Bobby Rush is the latest Democrat to leave Washington. The following headlines are from The Week. House January 6th committee is seeking Sean Hannity's cooperation. Paraguayan soldier dies after being gored by deer on grounds of presidential residence. Senator Tim Kaine arrives at the Capitol after nearly 27 hours on snowy I-95. Jeopardy! Champion Amy Schneider says she was robbed amid historic run. Why was the D.C. area snowstorm on Monday so intense? Trump's planned January 6th speech has top Republicans fretting. Hong Kong activist sentenced for creating public health risk by inciting Tiananmen vigil. Biden, schools should remain open despite Omicron surge. CNN won't boot Andy Cohen from New Year's Eve show over stupid and drunk comments. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Astronomers find 70 planets without stars floating free in the Milky Way. Success, Webb Sunshield now fully deployed. These are the news headlines for today, Wednesday, January 5th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The next news is from Politico. Senate Republicans present blind spot for January 6th investigation. NATO calls extraordinary meeting to discuss Russia. Hundreds of House districts are being redrawn. Here's who's winning and losing. Capitol security officials present list of reforms ahead of January 6th anniversary. North Korea fires suspected missile into sea. Biden will travel to Nevada for Harry Reid's funeral. White House embraces a manage not contain Omicron game plan. Sean Hannity tried to dissuade Trump from January 6 strategy, text show. Thousands of teachers, students absent as Omicron ravages Florida. CDC recommits to isolation and quarantine guidelines without tests. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Australian News Live, National Cabinet to discuss rapid antigen tests as COVID-19 cases continue to grow across NSW, Victoria and QLD. Novak Djokovic confirmed for Australian Open. The Ashes 2021 to 2022 in Sydney, fourth test, day 1 live, Australia win the toss and bat at SCG. Calls grow for more free rapid antigen tests as COVID-19 cases surpass 60,000. Trio charged over alleged plot to import $100 million worth of meth into WA. 6,781 new cases as COVID spreads in Queensland. Yes, loved, the warm and fuzzy story behind Wordler. Extraordinary pressure on hospitals as NSW records 35,054 COVID cases, 8 deaths. Bangladesh stun New Zealand with 8-wicket test victory. You cannot not have it, companies turn to cyber insurance as hackers rise. The big, the bold and the buzzworthy, 2022's TV season fires up. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Exclusive, Wall Street cancels plans to host Miami parties at key real estate conference as COVID cases surge. The Wall Street Journal, Blackstone-backed firm buys stake in Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's media company. The Moneyist, our friends always yearned for a relationship like ours. My husband of 16 years left me for another man. I don't want them to live in our properties. What can I do? Personal Finance Daily, bankruptcy cases fell dramatically in 2021, but new challenges await, and here are some money goals to consider for 2022. Newswatch, Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's right-hand man, just turned 98 and has some choice words about inflation, EBITDA and marriage. Market Snapshot, Dow ends at record highs, rising yields hit tech-heavy Nasdaq in choppy trade. The slowdown in job openings is a natural response to the pandemic worsening, but this industry suffered more than others. Intel focuses on autonomous driving, gaming and laptop chips it says 2022. Living with climate change, this mandate helped reduce risk of wildfires destroying buildings in California by 40%, so why don't more states implement it? AMD shows off $200 graphics card and new chips in says presentation, stock falls. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Jack Crosley obituary Herald Bulletin, the Herald Bulletin. Federal Circuit says Intel can appeal Qualcomm IPRs despite lack of infringement suit, IPWatchdog.com. New legislation to protect patents and innovation, Forbes. Kizik is creating hands-free shoes and revolutionizing the footwear industry, Utah Business. USPTO fast-track program for COVID-related inventions, the National Law Review. China makes progress in international IPR cooperation, official, intellectual property, worldwide, Mondac News alerts. Legally speaking, artificial intelligence is not even close to human intelligence, Analytics India magazine. This 1948 Palace Royale camper lets you travel through time with style, Gizmodo Australia. The next headlines are from Quartz. Which Indians does the UK want? Minimum wages are going up across the US this year. US rapid test production is ramping up too late for Omicron. Coronavirus, what to expect when you're neglecting. The U.S. quits rate returned to a record in November, and that was before Omicron hit. The U.S. has removed 3 African countries from a tariff-free trade program. The top-performing commodity of 2021 rose 437%. The real enemy and don't look up is big tech. China's digital yuan app is getting ready for the Beijing Winter Olympics. Elizabeth Holmes convicted. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. China's regulatory war on its gaming industry racks up 14K casualties. Chinese government fines local car dealerships for surveilling while not being the government. Eric Clapton pretends to regret the decision to sue random German woman who listed a bootleg of one of his CDs on eBay. ICE is so toxic that the DHS's investigative wing is asking to be completely separated from it. Daily Deal, the 2022 complete Raspberry Pi and Arduino developer bundle. Google blocked an article about police from The Intercept because the title included a phrase that was also a movie title. Wireless carriers balk at FAA demand for 5G deployment delays amid shaky safety concerns. 10th Circuit denies qualified immunity to social worker who fabricated a mother's confession of child abuse. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Amy Schneider. LSU football. Anthony Geary. IHU variant. Atlas shrugged. BlackBerry. Anthony Simons. Kimberly Guilfoyle. Kelly Earnby. This is us. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. U.S. launches preemptive strike on rocket sites near occupied Syrian oil fields. Democrats face brutal reckoning with Hispanic voters. CDC Director Walensky flip-flops on PCR testing guidance. Ron Paul, taking back our liberty in 2022. Biden disapproval hits all-time high as agenda faces major headwinds, CNBC. Third Chinese scientist pleads guilty to stealing trade secrets from drug maker GlaxoSmithKline. State of emergency declared in Kazakhstan's largest city after fuel price riots, internet cut. Google manipulates results as mass formation psychosis searches explode due to collapsing COVID narrative. CDC changes booster guidelines, again, as U.S. reports record cases. Ray Dalio on the changing world order, entirely possible neither side will accept losing the 2024 election. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Slavoj Žižek, will today's chaos lead to change for the better? North Korea fires suspected ballistic missile, Japan, South Korea. Dozens of migrants seek refuge on Mediterranean oil rig. Israel agrees to release Palestinian prisoner on hunger strike. Yoga and crochet, what could prison be like for Elizabeth Holmes? Uyghurs in Turkey file criminal case against Chinese officials. Canada unveils agreements to compensate Indigenous children. Groping charge against former NY Governor Cuomo is dropped. Toyota dethrones GM as #1 U.S. automaker. How will the military in Sudan deal with unrest? The next headlines are from Breitbart. 1 year later, Democrats' planned January 6 remembrance exhibit fails to materialize. Source linked Manhattan to Alvin Bragg, no incarceration except for homicide and a few other cases. Video, woman strips off dress to use for mask at ice cream shop. China scolds America for celebrating New Year's Eve a year after crowded Wuhan bash. Tom Cotton rings alarm on Biden jailbreak policy that could free limitless number of convicts. EU plan declares nuclear power and natural gas green energy. Schiff, January 6 probe needs to hear from FNC's Hannity, he is a Trump advisor. UNICEF, children will need almost a decade to recover from lockdowns. Nolte, Biden disapproval hits record high in RCP average. Biden's oil scheme fails, oil climbs back above $80 as OPEC sees strong demand despite Omicron. The next headlines are from UPI News. North Carolina man wins $1 million from Christmas gift lottery ticket. Incredible Hulk comic book auction smashes record at $490,000. Look, dog rescued from storm drain in Texas. Buzzard rescued from front grille of car in England. Class ring lost in rental car in 2012 found by vehicle's new owner. Watch, monkey visits kindergarten in China, accepts offered snacks. Watch, woman carries lion down Kuwait Street after animals escape. Landmark Big Potato Monument vandalized on New Year's Day. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. New smart pack could make food poisoning a thing of the past, and it's eco-friendly. 80-year-old man reunited with his long-lost brother and sister, thanks to his beloved pet dog. Astronomers uncover the largest group of rogue planets yet. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Wednesday, January 5th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Man stopped wife from driving drunk. Police charged him when she died walking home. No worries makes annual list of phrases to banish. 10,000 bees join protest in Chile, 7 police officers stung. North Korea makes wild claim Kim Jong-un's dad invented burritos. Here's what we know sex with Neanderthals was like via the BBC. Elon Musk's Starlink internet dishes are attracting cats. Sex workers are pitted against each other in fight over California's loitering law. Man dies after breaking his neck trying to jump ticket barrier in New York subway. I saw a big set of white teeth coming towards me. The people who survived terrifying wild animal attacks. How does it feel to fight off a predator in the wild? And what effect does it have on your life? 5 people, who live to tell the tale, explain. Pabst Blue Ribbon deletes tweets about eating ass, saying they were in poor judgment. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. The Aventins Ultra is a light e-bike with a ton of features for $1,200. Why home robots are a lot further away than you think. Here's how the Mercedes EQXX concept can boast 1,000 kilometers of range. Elizabeth Holmes found guilty, the best films, podcasts, and reads about the fairness fraudster. Did the Big Bang arise from nothing, or from a previous bygone universe? No, Hyundai is not ending its love affair with hydrogen races. Why banks' digital transformation strategies fail, and what to do about it. Python is the Shia programming language of 2021. What does this title even mean? Apple's now worth $3 trillion, and half could be thanks to its services bees. 5 designer shortcuts to help your new startup prioritize brand work. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Mass die-off of Magellanic penguin seen during 2019 heat wave. Plasma-based engineering creates contact killing, anti-fouling, drug release surfaces. Custom finger clip offers a new way to measure blood pressure, other vitals. One autoimmune disease could lead to another. New gene therapy approach offers a potential long-term treatment for limb-girdle muscular dystrophy 2B. How plants respond to heat stress. Sustainable silk material for biomedical, optical, food supply applications. Resolving the black hole fuzzball or wormhole debate. New route for regulating blood sugar levels independent of insulin. First-time genome editing made possible on cells lining blood vessel walls. The next headlines are from Information Week. Digital trends in 2022, what you need to know. 5 cyber resilience lessons we relearned in 2021, but will probably forget. DevOps or DevOps? Work from home, a year in review. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Wednesday, January 5th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. Sunshield successfully deploys on NASA's next flagship telescope. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Lawsuit says Google pays Apple to keep away from internet search market. A record 4.5 million Americans quit their jobs in November. Apple's upcoming AR/VR headset to feature 3 displays. You can now play video games developed behind the Iron Curtain. Fire at ASML could worsen global computer chip shortage. James Webb Space Telescope, Sun Shield fully deployed. Popcorn time, the piracy app that spooked Netflix, shuts down. Intel announces 12th Gen Core Alder Lake, 22 new desktop SCPUs, 8 new laptop HCPUs. WHO official downplays coronavirus variant found in France. New French law requires car commercials to tell people to walk or bike instead. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Exclusive, Governor Parson talks about latest COVID surge, mass testing sites. Watch, St. Louis County Council to discuss possible mask mandate tonight. Burning wall collapses, nearly hits firefighter in Lincoln County. Illinois man charged with murder after allegedly killing 2 people last year. Man charged with killing Illinois deputy now charged with St. Charles carjackings, shooting. Here are places providing free COVID-19 testing in St. Louis area. Omicron surges through St. Louis unfettered, new record set for hospitalizations, pediatric cases. Oh, music history, the pageant is selling pairs of balcony chairs. Man accused of robbing St. Louis County Quick Trips after dating employee. Illinois troopers increase nighttime patrols for seatbelt infractions and DUIs. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Truck driver dies on I-8 after being impaled by improperly secured sheet piles, CHP. California adopts water restrictions as drought drags on. January 6th panel releases Hannity texts, asks for cooperation. Disneyland discounted tickets, what to know as deal for SoCal residents takes effect. Woman suspected of stabbing relative in Encanto. Ex-Chabad of Poway rabbi sentenced for series of fraud schemes. Larry Elder says he won't run for governor in 2022. COVID cases top 450,000 in San Diego County since pandemic began. East County schools await for at-home tests as students return to class. Why are so many vaccinated people getting COVID right now? The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Egypt, Algeria, Indonesia rejects U-35 fighter jet deals with Russia. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. China bans tattoos in soccer. In the China-Laos Railway, Beijing reveals its designs for Southeast Asia. Citizen News becomes latest Hong Kong news site to close down. Xi'an COVID lockdown, growing frustration over food shortages and official mismanagement. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Wednesday, January 5th, 2022. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Lake Oroville's hydroelectric power plant resumes operation after recent storms. Redwood City Police arrest 20-year-old man for sexual assault. CDC posts rationale for shorter isolation, quarantine. Betty White challenge urges everyone to support animals in their community. Brian Laundrie's parents ask for notebook found near his remains, attorney says. Jeopardy! Champion Amy Schneider robbed over New Year's weekend, I'm fine. Powerball jackpot grows to $610 million after no winners in last draw. Arrest made in San Francisco's first homicide of 2022, police. Larry Elder says he won't run for California governor in 2022. California lawmakers unveil bill that would allow citizens to sue gun industry. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Drivers fret about food and fuel while stranded on highway. Hendrickson, 3 other Bengals starters placed on COVID list. Family stranded in Virginia, it's not getting any better. Presbyterian hires Engelhardt to replace no-punt Kelly. Michigan State WR Jaden Reed returning in 2022. Benedictine monks cut ties with Bennett Academy months after school hired coach in same-sex marriage. Last call for County Line, as popular Buffalo Grove bar and restaurant abruptly closes. Buffalo Grove won't extend vaccine requirement to Lake County businesses. Illinois surpasses 28,000 COVID-19 deaths, as hospitalizations hit all-time high again. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Democratic lawmakers filed 2 bills hoping to fix problems with Washington's new long-term care benefit. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 6M, depth, 556.2 km, in Indonesia April 1, 2022, 2055 UTC, few people within 100 kilometers. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.8 m, depth, 116.81 km, in Vanuatu April 1, 2022, 1831 UTC, about 2,000 people within 100 kilometers. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 6.1 m, depth 10 km, in northern Mid-Atlantic Ridge April 1, 2022, 3:18 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay. Green forest fire alert in Central African Republic. Drought is ongoing in Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania, Uganda. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Green forest fire alert in Chad. Drought is ongoing in Bangladesh, India, Myanmar. Drought is ongoing in Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Wednesday, January 5th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cipher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. The value of a well-placed spy in Moscow. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Harris County Commissioners outline how officials can get legal fees paid. Houston weather, December 2021 was the warmest on record in 130 years. Blackish returns, Michelle Obama guest stars as it ABC series begins final season. Nirvana Nevermind album baby cover artwork lawsuit dismissed. 4-year-old shooting victim's dad says HPD officers didn't arrive until 4 hours after incident. Influx of COVID testing leads to delays in getting results across Houston area. Warm on Wednesday, cool again by Friday. NC State trooper crashes, kills brother and another driver during traffic stop. Digital producer. Governor Abbott sues to block Biden COVID vaccine requirement to apply to Texas National Guard. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Utah's Ingles enters protocols, Jazz lash teen to join list. Albania, Brazil, Gabon, Ghana, UAE join Security Council. Tech founder out after anti-Semitic, anti-vaccine email. Bengals Hendrickson, 3 other starters placed on COVID list. Hive updates, National Guard members in Texas refuse vaccine. Historic Salt Lake Council majority LGBTQ, people of color. Arizona governor wants schools open despite virus surge. January 6 panel seeks interview with Fox News host Sean Hannity. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. We cannot feed into the hysteria. Adams doubles down on keeping schools open amid Omicron. Manhattan DeBragg tells staff to stop prosecuting certain offenses. Extra, can wristbands convince people to come back to the office in a pandemic? No. Scores of incarcerated New Yorkers sent to solitary and denied visits due to faulty drug tests. Albany County drops criminal complaint against Andrew Cuomo. 1970s Faith Ringgold painting will leave Rikers for permanent home at Brooklyn Museum. Early edition, why mood shame yourself when you could just embrace being grumpy? NYC had most deaths since 1970s, fewest births ever in first pandemic year. Extra, bro, do you even wordler? We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Harsh winter fuels ongoing humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan. UNICEF, grim start to New Year as 2 children are killed, 5 injured, in Syria. Bangladesh, fire rips through COVID treatment center for Myanmar refugees. Ecstasy as Zimbabwe's smallholder farmers secure European pineapple market. World Braille Day, pandemic shows importance of information access for all. 70% vaccination target must be met to ward off Omicron, WHO. Pakistan, smart card registration drive for Afghan refugees ends. UN chief encouraged by first joint statement from key nuclear-armed states. Journalists who faced relentless, targeted attacks, 293 in prison in 2021. UN's overall development agenda at risk as the coronavirus pandemic escalates. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. French rebels massively destroy 5G networks. Despotism is the new normal, looming threats to freedom in 2022. UK government greases skids for fleets of surveillance drones over cities. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Here's some weird, Snopesian trivia for National Trivia Day. Capacosta falsely claims anesthesia may kill those vaccinated against COVID-19. Prosecutor drops groping charge against former NY Governor Cuomo. 15 mega mansions ad fails to reveal info about its photo. David Bowie's extensive music catalog is sold to Warner. Did Mark Wahlberg tweet sometimes God slows you down? Sheep, goats join in German efforts to encourage vaccination. Djokovic given medical exemption to play at Australian Open. What is pay as you throw? A waste expert explains. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Judge Steve Harvey shows us why he's a master entertainer. Here's how to watch The Bachelor 2022 without cable. Move over, Tom Holland Chris Evans will play Gene Kelly in a whimsical-sounding new movie. A literal call to arms, January 6th officers sue Trump for directing angry mob. Paramedic busted for secret vax card side hustle. Revealed, Sean Hannity's other desperate texts about January 6th. Atlanta schoolgirl killer finally unmasked after DNA breakthrough. This desk chair helps me reach my fitness goals, without leaving the house. Gas moguls ensure distances from him amid sexual misconduct claims. Prince Andrew struggles to convince judge that Jeffrey's secret Epstein settlement gets him off the hook. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Los Angeles Lakers vs. Sacramento Kings NBA betting odds, lines, trends. NHL fine-tuning Islanders' COVID-19 ravaged schedule. Knicks' future depends on RJ Barrett becoming a star. Antonio Brown's visit to top surgeon adds new wrinkle to injury claims. Amtrak train stranded in Virginia for nearly 40 hours without food due to storm. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Are we ready for the next big solar storm? Ask Astro I, what is the Calorus Basin on Mercury, and how did it form? You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. NASA launches world's biggest and most powerful space telescope yet. Australia races to protect koala population ahead of wildfire season. Cancellations due to COVID-19 hit airports for the third day in a row. Omicron variant causing COVID-19 surges across the country. London-based Christmas tree rental company provides sustainable holiday alternative. World rings in the new year as Omicron cases surge. COVID-19 continues to disrupt holiday travel. In major milestone, Space Telescope successfully deploys sunshade. NASA presses ahead with Space Telescope's sunshield deployment. The following headlines are from military.com. He is not your commander-in-chief. Texas governor promises guardsmen he'll fight Biden over vaccine mandate. Judge blocks Navy's discipline of SEALs for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine. 11 days from outbreak to recovery, Milwaukee's vaccinated crew back at sea. Gear mishap forces F-35A stealth fighter to make belly landing in South Korea. China denies U.S. report it's rapidly growing its nuclear arms. Panel hears dueling versions of fatal Marine training mishap. USS Abraham Lincoln captain becomes first woman to take a U.S. aircraft carrier to sea. NATO to hold foreign ministers meeting over Ukraine. Egypt pushes for calm after flare-up in Gaza hostilities. Angst over China, Russia lessens chance of U.S. nuke changes. The following headlines are from phys.org. Study reveals more hostile conditions on Earth as life evolved. California imposes water restrictions as drought drags on. Exploring growth within a confined space. Study finds fertilization affects soil microbial biomass and residue distribution by changing root biomass. Real-time alert system Hair American League Division Series new era in fast radio burst research. Researchers identify new bacteria and viruses on human skin. U.S. snowstorm strands drivers for 20 hours and counting. Gravitational action of sun and moon influences behavior of animals and plants, study shows. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Wednesday, January 5th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Understanding the Big Five personality traits. To Victorians, flower arrangements were often secret messages. CRISPR gene editing technology enters the body and space. CBD benefits, full guide and 7 best brands. 5 natural ways you can improve your memory. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Panel proposes higher Alaska lawmaker pay allowance change. Rapper Pushisti pleads guilty to federal gun charge. California bill would make it easier to sue gun makers. Jeopardy! Champion Amy Schneider on being, literally, robbed. I'm fine, but I couldn't really sleep last night. Man free after 37 years due to sex for lies false witness. Rabbi wounded in synagogue shooting sentenced for fraud. Cameron Champ out of Kapalua with positive COVID-19 test. Pac-12 football, team-by-team grades for the 2021 season. Over 100 no-water reports made during Seattle's cold snap. Here's what to do when your pipes burst. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. January 6th, investigators want to hear from Pence directly. Trump cancels press conference scheduled for January 6th. Letters, broken at a notable life leadership deficit keep abortion legal mental health Hanson's fabrications gun control. Sharks Vlasic among scratches for game versus Detroit Red Wings. The $100,000 trading challenge with Samuel and Company Trading. Letters, mask enforcement carbon dividend notable lives military spending serving public clear choice. 2022 movies, here are 9 releases to pique your interest. Lake Oroville rises 89 feet, power plant resumes operation after December rains. For charity hat auction, Melania Trump is mum on how much will go to foster kids. January 6th panel wants to hear from Fox host Hannity. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. January 6th committee requests cooperation from Sean Hannity, Fox News host. Facebook lifts ban on conservative children's publisher Heroes of Liberty, blames error. Donald Trump cancels January 6th press conference. Democrats struggle on how to move forward with Build Back Better. Poll, majority of Republicans believe FBI is acting as Biden's personal Gestapo. Black gun ownership fuels record number of firearms purchases. Expanding the Quad, opening scene to boost pro-democracy alliance against China. Inside the Beltway, bring back the America First agenda. Hogan declares 30-day emergency, Metro cuts services due to COVID-19. Judge tosses Nevermind Babies lawsuit against Nirvana. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Despite Omicron risk, SAW still requires travelers to remove masks at airport checkpoints. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Wednesday, January 5th, 2022. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Alt, Pat Dowell on verge of running for Rep. Bobby Rush seat, would drop Secretary of State bid. CPS would cancel classes Wednesday if CTU votes to refuse in-person work, CEO says. Chief Judge shoots down Lightfoot's request for moratorium on electronic monitoring for most violent offenders. 17-year-old boy hurt in Englewood shooting. Cook County political heavyweight Frank Zuccarelli dies at 70. Lightfoot deems 2022 make-or-break year for lowering violent crime. Lawsuit by man who was Nevermind Baby is thrown out by judge. Tuesday's high school basketball scores. Here's your year in preview, Chicago sports fans, please, no thanks necessary. Biden's vaccine mandate for large employers isn't about workplace safety. The next headlines are from the Times of India. Rs 25 lakh cost a stigma, CJAR tells SC. Kong seeks reply, don't fall for propaganda, Singhvi. At $3 trillion, Apple's market cap is higher than GDP of UK, India. Supreme Court to hear pleas on ooze quota today. Gagawanian crew module will have 2 landing site choices on return. Bully by 18-year-old alleged mastermind held in Ukand. CCTVs in spas and parlors will hit right to relax, HC. At center India bins will keep terror away, says Yogi. Live, peak in Mumbai around January 6th to 13th, deaths may be half of Delta toll. Stampede at Congress Marathon in Up, several girls injured. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Wednesday, January 5th, 2022. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. 21 top albums from Houston. Things to do, the 2021 HFCS Awards nominations. Blues band GA20 howls about the Hound. Preview, Donald Rawlings at Houston Improv. David Culley likely to return to Texans for another season in 2022. Crazy dog brings Korean corn dogs to Cyprus. The next headlines are about world records making news. World Athletics to host race to honor Agnes Tirrup's memory, Canadian running magazine. It's a concrete world, we're just living in it, roads and bridges. Teenager who was once dubbed the strongest kid is almost unrecognizable in latest photos, Daily Mail. COVID, U.S. daily cases top 1 million, as Joe Biden doubles order for Pfizer's Paxlovid pill, Sky News. U.S. Olympic speed skating trials set to begin Wednesday in Milwaukee, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. NFL star Cam Newton on breaking Odell Beckham Jr.'s world record with more beast, I have the best hands, essentially sports. Swimming World January 2022 presents, the greatest world records in history, Swimming World magazine. This Dubai hotel hit a Guinness World Record for largest champagne glass pyramid, see it now, Travel Plus Leisure. Record number of Americans quit their jobs before the holidays, KPAX-TV. China's nuclear fusion reactor runs at 126 million for 17 minutes, Daily Mail. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Report, Russian hacker who may have documents proving Kremlin election meddling in U.S. custody. An astronaut travels light years to find a lost colony in this moving sci-fi short. The X-Men's new destiny has found itself some peacekeepers. U.S. COVID-19 hospitalizations hit 100,000 as Omicron rages on. Nevermind baby's lawsuit gets thrown out of court. Of course, Japan's latest life-sized Gundam statue looks great in animation. We'll believe it when we see it, Joe. MSI Stealth GS-77 overhauled with powerful chips, liquid metal cooling. These new smart bulbs can track your sleep. Michael Keaton's returning to Batman, so here's a reminder why he left in the first place. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Rabbit Flat in Australia at 114.08 degrees Fahrenheit or 45.6 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Ekayachchayu in Russia at minus 68.08 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 55.6 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. The OnePlus 10 Pro is official, sports ADW charging. Tracking Facebook connections between parent groups and vaccine misinfo. LG's new 2022 OLED TVs add new sizes and better peak brightness. Nevermind baby's child porn lawsuit against Nirvana dismissed by judge. Coming to a laptop near you, a new type of security chip from Microsoft. AMD's Ryzen 6000 laptop chips finally modernize their built-in Radeon GPUs. Scientists train goldfish to drive a fish-operated vehicle on land. Judge blocks Navy vaccine rule, no COVID-19 exception to the First Amendment. Asus mechanical keyboard uses 312 mini LEDs to display animations. AMD announces one last Ryzen 5000 CPU while teasing all new Ryzen 7000 series. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Trump canceled January 6th event as it was becoming clear he wasn't likely to get live TV coverage, Maggie Haberman. Do you realize you're describing a coup? Peter Navarro gets schooled during train wreck MSNBC interview. Do it again? I want to say yes, defiant MAGA rioter tells CNN he didn't do anything wrong. Pence testifying to MAGA riot committee would mean he is done with presidential ambitions, CNN's Dana Bash. He cannot mention the election again, text messages reveal Sean Hannity's frantic efforts to rein in Trump. Trump abruptly cancels planned January 6th speech, then throws tantrum at Capitol riot probe. New Hannity text revealed, including one where he admits being very worried one day before January 6th, CNN. Merrick Garland should reveal any January 6th probe of Trump to restore public confidence, MSNBC analyst. Major Utah GOP donor says the Jews are using COVID-19 vaccines to euthanize the American people. Republicans are quietly talking about trying to ensure Trump won't be 2024 nominee, NIT reporter. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. The January 6th committee just revealed alarming text messages from Sean Hannity. The year our climate crisis got even more real. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Jason Boland trades red dirt for outer space on a concept album about alien abduction, Rolling Stone. The TP-Link Archer X200 on the outer automatically moves its antenna for the best Wi-Fi, The Verge. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. Dumpland Sound HK, blinded by sound. Transcranial stimulation of alpha oscillations upregulates the default modes network, pnas.org. Aerobic exercise stabilizes Parkinson's motor progression, aids cognition, Parkinson's News Today. Caltech, 7 Caltech faculty are principal investigators on mid-brain grants, India Education Diary. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. ZL Blinded Sound 856-537, blinded by sound. FEV Blinded Sound SF, blinded by sound. Old age record could reach 130 by century's end, Smithsonian. JKV Blinded Sound PCK, blinded by sound. VAS Blinded Sound 610, blinded by sound. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Wednesday, January 5th, 2022 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. UFOs UAP, tell the truth, say military veterans. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Wednesday, January 5th, 2022. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News.8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News.8. All rights reserved.